From the Clark Athletic Center gym on the campus of UMass Boston here in South Boston, some non-conference women's basketball tonight as the UMass Boston Beacons host the Suffolk Rams. Everyone, Nick Cope here with you on the Beacons Broadcast Network to bring you the action. Let's look at the team statistics here between these two teams. Pretty even, both teams score in the 60s, where Suffolk, who comes in at 7-11 overall, where they've kind of struggled in close games, is with their defenses let them down a bit. But both teams shoot okay. You see Suffolk defending well, and Suffolk also likes to shoot the three as well. Looking at the team leaders, Grace Geary still leading the way for UMass Boston, and Ileana Quadri, the leading scorer for Suffolk. Both Quadri sisters, Ileana and Alessandra Quadri, top scorers for this Suffolk team, and the Rams really go as they go. Looking at the all-time series, it's gone back and forth, but the Beacons lead at 13-9, including a win last year at Suffolk. Now let's take a look at the highlights from last Sunday's 20-point win over Keene State College.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity, there's a lot of people. Here there's a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Muprhy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
Back here inside the Clark Gymnasium in South Boston, our UMass Boston player to watch tonight is Olivia Muprhy, and could be a big night for her. The junior from Canton needs just 6 points to reach 1,000 for her career. She would become the 8th player in program history to do so, and not only doing it scoring this season, but rebounding as well. 3 consecutive double-doubles coming into today and 10 on the season. Our starters for Suffolk will be a 4-guard, 1-forward lineup. And there you see the Quadri sisters in the middle. They're the big key for Suffolk, but not much size on this Ram team. And now here are your UMass Boston starters.
I'm Tajay Burston. I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts, and I'm a guard.
Grace Gary, freshman guard, Falmouth, Massachusetts.
I'm Mallory Nelson. I'm a sophomore from Topsom, Maine, and I'm a guard.
Hi, my name is Olivia Muprhy. I'm a junior. I'm from Canton, Mass, and I'm a forward.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Keeks Morrison. I'm a senior forward from North Reading, Massachusetts.
And now our keys to the game for the Beacons. And this is a small bench tonight for Suffolk. They only have about 9 active players dressed for tonight, so push the tempo and see if you can wear the Suffolk team down, empty the bench, and gas the other team a little bit. We know the Beacons like to shoot threes whenever they get the opportunity. And more to that point, get the ball inside, see if you can get Suffolk in a bit of foul trouble. But also, Beacons do have size advantage. Suffolk's tallest player is 5'10", and the Beacons have a couple players, Murphy at 6 foot and Morrison at 6'2", that could take advantage of that. And then the final point, 1,000 will come. That's alluding to Olivia Muprhy, 6 points shy of 1,000. Don't worry about that. Murphy's a player that averages 14 points per game. Play the game like you normally would, and those points for Murphy will come in due time throughout this game. It's about ready to begin. As you see Suffolk march over from their bench, their head coach is Ed Layden in his 27th season. And for the Beacons, Courtney Mattingly in her 6th. UMass Boston at 12-7 overall, and Suffolk at 7-11 out of the GNAC. They're right in the middle of it in 4th place. So is UMass Boston in the Little East at 3rd, and we are underway with Suffolk controlling the opening tip. UMass Boston opens up in a 2-3 zone to begin the game. Inside, it's Alessandra Quadri. Can't get the friendly bounce, and Murphy the rebound for the Beacons. Suffolk will counter with a zone as well. Tajay Burston comes across for Grace Geary. UMass Boston coming off a 62-55 win against Rhode Island College, their first season sweep of RIC in over a decade. The shot from Nelson too short. Alessandra Quadri looking to push. Also on the other side for Suffolk, another player that's inching towards a 1,000 point mark. That's Ileana Quadri, older sister of Alessandra. Here's Alessandra driving, and the long rebound back out, didn't hit the rim. Deep 3 on the way is in and out, and the rebound by Murphy off that long shot from Kelsey Schiebel. Minute 20 in and no score between the Beacons and the Rams. Little East versus GNAC tonight. Murphy could not corral the pass. And it was Tori Brio stepping in front as well to effect it. Here's Alessandra Quadri, short on the layup. So 5 combined possessions to start this game between the two teams, and still no score. Burston feeds it inside, but it's deflected and taken by Ileana Quadri. Given down low, and this ball will get out of bounds, and they'll say last touch by Suffolk. With Ileana Quadri driving. Suffolk trying to say that went off the back foot of Tajay Burston, but it will go the other way in our first turnover. Two minutes in. And still a 0-0 game. Geary finds Morrison. Nelson inside for Muprhy. Back out Burston. Again, they give it inside for Muprhy, and she loses it out of bounds. More good defense provided by Brio. She's been fronting Muprhy those first few possessions, and you see, especially on that possession, UMass Boston really trying to get the ball inside to Olivia Muprhy. Here's Negri. Inside, gets by Morrison, but has it knocked away by Kirsten Morrison. And will stay with Suffolk with 16 seconds on the shot clock, and the game's first substitution. We'll see Katie Matthew come in. She replaces Burston. Quadri defers off to her sister, now gets it back. This is Ileana running around the screen from Alessandra. Now Schiebel takes the deep two, and rebounded by Nelson. Now both teams struggling to shoot to start this game as we approach 3 minutes gone by and still no score. Geary will back off. Now 12 on the shot clock. Geary gets the screen. Dumps it back off for Muprhy and puts it in. And finally, points on the board, a 2-0 lead for UMass Boston. Schiebel fired into the corner for Quadri. Now Alessandra Quadri's pass is tipped. Ileana Quadri for three. Offensive rebound by Brio. Back out for Schiebel. Quadri to her sister Ileana. And now Brio at the free throw line to Alessandra Quadri. The jumper is good. And Suffolk ties it up. Alessandra Quadri had missed her first 4 shot attempts, but a nice swish on that elbow jumper to even the score. Down low, Morrison, count it, and the foul. Morrison getting position on Tori Brio, and will head to the free throw line. Had been a pretty fluid game to start. First foul of the game. And Morrison at the line. A 55% free throw shooter. Can't convert the three-point play. Still a 2-point lead for the Beacons. UMass Boston able to knock that ball away. And they'll take over. We'll have a substitution. Morrison will come out, and Katrina Edwards will check in. 15:40 to go first half, and a 4-2 lead for UMass Boston. Geary inside for Muprhy. Gets it to go. And now Muprhy just 2 points shy of 1,000 for her career. Inside, Ileana Quadri off the mark. Hits her own rebound. Alessandra Quadri puts it in. Sisters bailing each other out. 2-point UMass Boston lead. See if the Beacons try to go to Muprhy again. Nelson backing down Schiebel and puts it in off the glass. An 8-4 lead now for the Beacons. So really trying to take advantage of Suffolk's lack of size in the paint. Nagy lost it. Now it's blocked by Muprhy. 5.5 minutes into the first half. A 4-point lead for UMass Boston. Inside, Muprhy. Back out for Nelson. Edwards off the mark. Muprhy puts it back. And that's number 1,000 for Olivia Muprhy. And a timeout taken by Ed Layden. It'll be a full timeout taken by Suffolk as Olivia Muprhy receives a standing ovation here from the UMass Boston fans. We'll be right back here on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
My name is Allie Greenberg. I'm an ice hockey player here. I'm a junior majoring in human services, and I'm part of the Key for Hope Foundation. We recycle the keys and stock food pantries with the money. I wanted to bring this foundation to the athletic department, and I believe we can end hunger starting at UMass Boston. I got started with the Key for Hope Foundation due to my father. He's the one who founded this program.
I said, what can I do with a classroom environment giving back? And everybody's got an old key, and keys are made of brass, and brass is a recyclable commodity. And thinking about how many children are in a school system and how far we can go with taking this to do something right for humanity, I started a foundation called Key for Hope, feeding others with the collecting of keys. In 2.5 years, we collected over 500,000 keys.
A 10-4 lead for UMass Boston following the timeout taken by Suffolk. Olivia Muprhy has 6 of UMass Boston's first 10 points to give her 1,000 for her career. She is the 8th player in program history to do so, and the 2nd player to do it this season. Remember, Kirsten Morrison also reached the milestone earlier this season. Here's Brio trying to pass to the corner, but Edwards steps in front of the pass that was intended for Alexandra Negri. Both teams have struggled to shoot the ball to start. Took nearly 3 minutes for the game's first points as Muprhy turns it over. The 4th turnover against the Beacons in this game. Alessandra Quadri for 3, too strong, and the rebound by Edwards. Alessandra Quadri with all 4 of Suffolk's points. Suffolk started in a zone and have since gone to a man defense as Edwards misses. Negri, bounce pass is batted away by Geary and picked up by Edwards. Chantel Jordan into the game as well for UMass Boston coming out of that timeout. Nelson, the 3, and the rebound by Negri. Ileana Quadri, nice shot fake, pulls up. Edwards the rebound. Still a 6-point lead for the Beacons. So we've played nearly 8 minutes here at the Clark Gym in South Boston. There are questions at the beginning of the day whether this game would be played, as Geary and the offensive rebound and a tie-up. Jump ball will give possession to UMass Boston. Morrison and Burston return. And the first substitutions for Suffolk. We'll see Shelby Santini come on. And we'll also see Burston, 3, in and out. Offensive rebound, Edwards, but lost it. Picked up by Ileana Quadri. It was Chelsea Campolone who also came on as the shot from Santini, no good. And a loose ball foul against Suffolk. More substitutions. Raven Kelsey into the game, as well as Caitlin Caramello for Suffolk. 11:38 to go first half, a 10-4 UMass Boston lead. And a foul will be committed against UMass Boston as Ileana Quadri Went down onto the floor. Kelsey picks up the foul. So UMass Boston did not have classes today. School was closed, but Suffolk did have class up in downtown Boston and decided to play this non-conference game as Alexandra Negri hits the 3 ball. And just like that, a 3-point deficit. Had lots of issues with the MBTA today. That prevented students from being able to get to class down here. But ultimately they decided to make it happen. See a lot of parents able to get out here as well. So a decent crowd despite no students on hand, really. For UMass Boston, this is their final non-conference game of the season. So nice little test to work on some things as Negri's shot too strong. And the rebound by Katie Matthew. Nearing the midway point of the first half. It's been rough going for both teams. Morrison inside, back out, Matthew for 3, yes. Beacons are shooting over 40%, but they have turned it over 5 times. Suffolk shooting just 20% and 4 turnovers their own. Santini walked with it, and it'll be turnover 5 against the Rams. Morrison inside. Kelsey the offensive rebound. 3 reserves on the floor for UMass Boston as Morrison freed up inside, courtesy of Raven Kelsey. So the Beacons with their largest lead of this first half at 8, 15-7. Santini lost it but recovered. Now Ileana Quadri knocks down the long 2. Her first points of the game. Now she's just 3 points shy of reaching the 1,000 mark. Down low, Kelsey can't handle the high pass. Geary and Murphy return for UMass Boston. Alessandra Quadri comes back on. And for the first time, we'll see Alexandra Clark. Ileana Quadri and Campolone head off for Suffolk. It's a Ram team. Last year they went 16-10 as the foul committed by Grace Geary. They went 8-3, and the GNAC ultimately lost to Johnson and Wales in the tournament quarterfinals. And they graduated their top scorer, Jennifer Rice. She averaged over 16 points per game and had a great game against UMass Boston last year. Otherwise, they bring back nearly all of their scoring from last year. Quick passing up the floor to find Jordan. Can't get it to go. Murphy can't put it back in. And ultimately controlled by Alessandra Quadri. 8:20 to go, first half, 15-9. UMass Boston leading. Matthew steps into the 3. Rebounded by Clark. Suffolk looking to counter, but Santini lost the handle. Now doubled. Back out for Negri. And hits. Suffolk with a couple of 3-pointers in the last few minutes to keep this game close. Back to a 3-point deficit once again. And a timeout taken by Courtney Mattingly. It'll be a full timeout taken by UMass Boston. And we will take a break. 7:45 to go, and the Beacons up by 3 on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
We're here at the police station, for, giving back to the community, having fun at the Halloween haunted house.
We decorate all the cells, create a haunted house for the kids. And by 9 o'clock tonight, it's back to our actual prison cell again. We reached out to our community groups, the local colleges, UMass. They love to work with us. We have a great relationship with UMass, so it was incredible to have the kids and the students come in and help us scare the children.
Halloween is just such a great time of year, and it's great to see all the kids having fun and helping them out.
I'd definitely be back for next year.
15-12, UMass Boston with the early lead. Beacons led by Olivia Muprhy, 6 points, as she became the 8th player in program history to reach 1,000 points for her career earlier in this game. Suffolk, they've been plagued by poor shooting, just 5 of 19 from the floor and 5 turnovers. They've been able to keep it close with a couple of 3-pointers, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc, and UMass Boston hasn't taken care of the basketball as well as they usually can. 6 turnovers for the Beacons. 15 on the shot clock. Murphy working against Caitlin Caramello, and a kickball against Suffolk will keep it with the Beacons. Beacons will get a few more ticks added to the shot clock and inbound it on the baseline. Nelson finds Jordan. Screen from Murphy. Gary all the way. Faked that she was going to take the screen and spun down the lane. And she's got nice touch with the left hand. Ileana Quadri to Santini. Inside, wild shot. And a loose ball foul will keep it here with Suffolk. It's going to go against Nelson, as Caramello got knocked down to the floor. So a fresh shot clock here for Suffolk. Schiebel finally gets it up to Santini. Quadri swings it around for Santini. Now Geary knocks it away, and it's picked up by Jordan. Beacons force another turnover, and it seemed like Suffolk didn't quite know what they wanted to do on offense there. A lot of passing around the perimeter and players pointing to different spots. Try to feed Morrison, and puts it in with 3 players coming in on her. Able to receive the pass by Nelson. It was a dangerous one, but placed it perfectly. Back to a 7-point lead for the Beacons. Inside, Clark. Rebounded by Geary. And the Beacons doing a better job rebounding. They had given up a few offensive rebounds early. Now Murphy. Morrison from 16 feet gets the friendly bounce. And that will prompt an immediate timeout from Ed Layden, and Suffolk just a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here as UMass Boston has their largest lead of the game at 9 points. Morrison now with 8 points to lead all scores on 4 of 6 shooting. So for UMass Boston, it's their final conference game. Currently sit in 3rd place in the Little East standings at 5-4 as they hold the tiebreaker over the University of Southern Maine right now. But both teams currently at 5-4. But then right on their tail, both Keene State and Rhode Island College at 4-5. Be a big boost and a big step for this UMass Boston women's basketball team to have one of those top 4 seeds and host in the quarterfinal round of the Little East Conference Tournament. You got 5 conference games to go after tonight to make that happen. 5:50 to go, first half. Alessandra Quadri back into the game, along with her sister Ileana, who controls. Back out for Alessandra. Down low, Clark couldn't control it. Morrison might have gotten a piece of it, and it's Nelson coming away with the loose ball. 21-12, UMass Boston. They have led throughout in this first half. Morrison has it knocked away by Clark. It will stay with the Beacons. You look at these two teams' common opponents, not a ton. Both have lost narrowly to Fitchburg State on the road. And both teams had played LaSalle as well, both winning against LaSalle. Beacons had about a 30-point win, and for Suffolk, about a 12-point win as a shot clock violation against UMass Boston. Brittany Moore onto the floor for the first time tonight to replace Morrison. Moore from Bill Ricca usually gets about 9 minutes a game. Clark, back out, Ileana Quadri, trying to find her sister, but the pass too high. Jordan, back out for Nelson. UMass Boston trying to get their first double-digit lead. Geary for three, and Clark the rebound. It's been about 3.5 minutes since Suffolk has scored any points. Alessandra Quadri, the pull-up, and the rebound by Jordan. Alessandra Quadri has taken the majority of the shots for Suffolk, 2 of 8 from the floor. Murphy's been getting involved on the other end for UMass Boston. A feeder. Got her shot affected a bit. Looked like Caramello got her hand on it. And now Quadri looking to push. Bounces it off for Schiebel, too strong off the glass. And it will go to the Beacons. Santini, Negri as well as Campolone come on for Suffolk. Katie Matthew comes back in for UMass Boston, as does Tajay Burston. Matthew gets the screen from Moore. Burston traveled with it, jumped up, was looking to pass it off for Murphy, but Murphy was not looking for the pass, held on to it, and that results in the Beacons' 8th turnover. UMass Boston has still been shooting well, 10 of 23 from the floor for 43%. Final 3:20 until the break. Left in the first half here as Alessandra Quadri finally gets some points. The first in 4.5 minutes for Suffolk. She has 6 points for the Rams. Now a press, and UMass Boston able to break it. More for Murphy. Can't get the roll. Offensive rebound, fouled on the way up by Santini. So Beacons break it well. And Murphy will have to earn it the hard way at the free throw line, where she's a 71% foul shooter. 2:56 to go in the first half. Murphy goes 1 for 2. 22-14 the lead for the Beacons. Santini to Schiebel. Alessandra Quadri flips it to Negri. Quadri down low, off the hands of Campolone. And UMass Boston takes possession. Morrison back in for Moore. Both literally and figuratively. Burston lost it off her head, but able to keep it in bounds. Now Nelson has her pocket picked. And the miss by Quadri, rebounded by Campolone. Dumps it back off for Quadri, puts it up. And the rebound, Muprhy. Alessandra Quadri with 2 good looks, but unable to convert. Tipped away by Campolone. Geary will return to replace Burston. Ileana Quadri comes back in. And we also see Tori Brio return for Campolone and Alessandra Quadri. Morrison back out for Geary. 10 to shoot. Geary flips it back. Matthew open for 3. Biggest lead of the game thus far for UMass Boston at 25-14. Down low looking for Santini. And back-to-back turnovers for Suffolk. It's their 10th already. As Brio was looking to find Santini. Now the home run pass down for Matthew and puts it in. From Geary all the way down the floor. And a foul coming against Geary here at the other end. Her second, so she'll come off the bench and Burston back in. Schiebel, Quadri for 3. Might have just clipped the front of the rim. Able to recover and lay it in though. How about the effort from Santini to save it, and then Quadri to find a hole in the defense and put it in. 4 points for Quadri as she's now just 1 shy of her 1,000th for her career. Bounce off for Nelson. Morrison inside, count it, and the foul. Kirsten Morrison has been superb up front for UMass Boston. Now 10 points in the game. Alessandra Quadri returns for the final 52 seconds of the half. Morrison converts the 3-point play, and it's a 14-point lead for the Beacons. Ileana Quadri, the shot, and the rebound Morrison. At a 2-second differential between shot and game clock. Burston will look to kill off as much time as possible. Nelson inside, Morrison back off from Muprhy. And a traveling violation against Muprhy will put the shot clock off for the final 7.8 seconds. Negri, plenty of time here, 5 to shoot. Will go all the way too strong, and Muprhy will just hold. 30-16, UMass Boston with the lead as the teams head to the locker room. Beacons led for the entirety of that first half. Shot the ball well, over 40%, but I'm sure head coach Courtney Mattingly would like to see them take care of the basketball a little bit better. Otherwise, Beacons doing well, working the ball inside with Muprhy and Morrison. It's really been the story so far. The two of them have combined for 19 of the Beacons' 30 points. Right now, we'll take a look at the top 10 plays from the fall semester.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Beacon. I'm your host, Haley Denton. It's been a wild first semester here in Beaconville, with 7 teams posting winning records. With all that success, it's no surprise that the Beacons have put together some crazy plays. Here's the top 10 from first semester.
Double-double for Keeks is a distinct possibility. As we said in the pregame show, she has 4 double-doubles in 6 career games against Rhode Island. Entry pass from Geary. They'll swing it out to Burston, and she rattles it home off the back rim. Tajay Burston. Smith again towards the middle, knocked up by Baker. Bumped by Glavin towards the back for Munchback. She'll get it over towards Wojciech at the middle. Steal gets denied. Murphy wins it for the Beacons. What a block by Julia Murphy. Brittany Steele had been dominant all match long, and when it counted most, Julia Murphy was there, and UMass Boston wins a thriller.
Hanging in front, and Klug steps in front of it. Here's a chance for Lima. She makes it in the goal. Lima puts the Beacons on top 1-0. And it comes with less than 3 minutes to go in the game. UMass Boston turned for their first postseason victory.
Peters all conjuring at the center circle. A long ball ahead for Garufi. If this stays in bounds, the Beacons are in business, and she's good to go. Garufi, far side end line. Pass up ahead, goes to the back of the net. She was looking for Pugliese on the near post, and she beats the goaltender. Erica Garufi has given the Beacons a 3-2 lead with 10 minutes to play.
One of the nicest guys on the team, an honor roll student as that shot doesn't get through. Mike Kuhn able to knock it down, pass in front, and it's Stephen Bucco one-on-one with the goalie. Bucco shot, score! Stephen Bucco, the senior out of North Providence, Rhode Island, and all of a sudden the Beacons take a 1-0 lead at 19-12.
I mean, Seth, that's the one guy, if you're Castleton, you don't want coming in on a breakaway. Stephen Bucco has a lightning release.
Eventually get it. It was one-on-one with McGuire. Double team help from Young, gets a hand in there, frees it up for his steal. This is Medina all the way up, alley-oop finished by Joseph. He's flying high today, folks. Lizzie Avison. Avison shot knocked down in front, and it looked like Garrett had a chance to turn it up towards the offensive end, but she loses the puck. This is Sullivan, look at the moves, backhanded shot, what a beauty. Alyssa Sullivan weaving magic in the offensive end. It's a 3-0 Beacon lead.
Wow, what a play by Sullivan there. Oh.
The ball looks to drive on Agner, swings it out. Big block there by Gregory Young. He'll look to take it the other way. Young puts it up with the right hand and down, and the Beacons fans go crazy as that'll force the first time out. Young swatted the shot from Brandon Barboza, and then a huge dunk.
Being open all game long, and she hit 4 posts as well. Here she comes again, looping behind the defender. Layden pokes it on, and it's into the back of the net. 100 career goals for Krista Layden. Comes just 7 minutes in.
Expecting to be out. All right, time for Tuesday's top plays. UMass Boston women's soccer, but you can probably figure that out. Krista Layden heads the ball forward in between 2 defenders, chips the ball over the goalkeeper for the goal. She becomes the 30th player in.
That championship goal. Silvera has one today. Silvera bending ball, backside shot, score! Score! It's at Nelson Barrows! The Beacons are champions for the first time in men's soccer program history. Douglas Silvera the pass. And Milson Barros the goal. And the Beacons are going dancing for the first time in program history.
Which one was your favorite? From all of us here at Beacons Athletics, we wish you happy holidays. And don't forget to check out the beaconsathletics.com website later in December for the top 10 moments of 2014.
Back inside the Clark Gym, a 14-point lead at halftime for UMass Boston. As we take a look at the team stats here at the break. And UMass Boston winning the rebounding battle. Both teams with 10 turnovers. That's really been the story of this first half, is both teams really struggled to take care of the basketball. The Beacons shooting well despite it. Just shy of 50% at 48% as a team, and both teams with a couple three-pointers. Team leaders for UMass Boston, Kirsten Morrison already with 11, and already 9 rebounds for Olivia Muprhy as she is on her way to her 4th straight double-double with 7 points to go with those 9 rebounds. And for Suffolk, both Alessandra Quadri and Alexandra Negri with 6 points. Right now we're going to take a look at hockey highlights from the UMass Boston women's team as they lost on Friday to Manhattanville, a close one, 5-4.
She was a victim of unspeakable abuses. Her husband was violent, malicious, and distant. Her kids now belong to the state of Massachusetts. They've been taken away. They've been taken away. There was a bright one, Tony's on his head. Mother loved them both the same, at least that's what she said. I don't predict the future, I don't care about the past. Send them both to DSS, now you've had your chance. I'm going to slow your baby, the judges took your rights. You can have your children for tonight. I suppose if you're the victim, I suspect you may have lied. If you lost all ambition, won't you give this thing a try? If you can and you fail, you won't be the only loser. These kids don't stand a chance with you in their future. They've been taken away. They've been taken away. Billy was a bright one, Tony's on his head. Mother loved them both the same, at least that's what she said. I don't predict the future, I don't care about the past. Send them both to DSS, now you've had your chance. The boys are stole your baby, the judges took your rights. You can have your children for tonight. The boys are stole your baby, the judges took your rights. You can have your children for tonight.
Second half coming up in just a few moments between UMass Boston and Suffolk, a 30-16 halftime score between the Beacons and the Rams. As we take a look around Beaconville, what else is going on in UMass Boston athletics? Men's hockey, they moved up the Division III rankings a little bit after a 2-0 weekend against Skidmore and Castleton State. Women's hockey will host Nichols on Friday at 4. And the only other home game of the week, that one will be on the Beacons Broadcast Network. The junior sprinter Anisha Trappier was named to the Little East Women's Sprinter of the Week. And now the Little East Conference scoreboard. Only one other game currently going on. Southern Maine trailing Colby 41-24 at halftime. And there you see the other games still to come. Some good non-conference games. Plymouth State at Norwich, UMass Dartmouth at Salem State, Rhode Island College at Tufts, and WestCon at Regis College. And looking ahead for this UMass Boston women's basketball team, they'll be at EastCon on Saturday, and then come back with a couple home conference games next week UMass Dartmouth and Plymouth State on Tuesday and Saturday. Both those games on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Few minutes until the second half between UMass Boston and Suffolk. Don't go anywhere. We'll bring it to you in just a few.
I'm Elizabeth Glavin, sophomore business management major from Edina, Minnesota. I love being a part of this volleyball team. Volleyball is what brought me to UMass Boston. I looked at our recruiting website one last time and saw UMass Boston on it, came out for a visit the next week, and it kind of hit all the boxes that I was looking for. In a good city, good academic school, good volleyball program. It had everything I wanted. Although it was far away from home, I knew this is where I wanted to be. Winning 6 back-to-back LEC titles is really a dynasty, I think, and Terry has really focused hard on recruiting and building this dynasty and continuing to build a program that can continue to win championships, and it's really lucky to be a part of something this great. Last year I was the Little East Conference Defensive Player of the Year, All-Conference second team, NCAA Regional MVP of the regional tournament, ABC All-Region Honorable Mention, and New England Women's Volleyball Association All-Rookie Team and Honorable Mention. I think my favorite game would have to be playing in the regional championship last year. We played against a really good Williams team, and I think that match, we started off a little shaky and lost the first set. We've lost in the whole playoff season, and I think that kind of shook us a little bit. We came back firing, and we're ready to go those next couple games. Our coaches are bringing in a lot of really strong girls who want to make a commitment and make an impact in this program, and I think that is why we're continuing to do well and will continue to do well for the next few years. Being a student here has been really awesome as well. I've recently started taking more of my business classes and found that's a good choice and a good fit for me. And eventually I hope to open my own business and kind of be successful and do what I love at the end of the day.
I'm Alexa Capion. I'm from Messina, New York. I'm a junior on the women's ice hockey team, and I'm an exercise health science major. But when I got here, I met Coach Harris, and I saw the facility, and I met a couple of the girls on the team, and I pretty much got a feel of the program, and I knew right away that this is where I wanted to go to school. We have all league games for the rest of the year, so that's going to be a huge test for us. We need those points to hopefully come out with a good standing for playoffs. A couple of highlights from the last couple of years that I've been playing was probably last year when we won our first Codfish Bowl. We made history that year. I was really excited to be part of that. I don't have very many goals, but when I do score, it's definitely a big deal.
That's a goal!
For the past 3 years, we've had Emily. She is a member of the Team Impact program, and that's for children with illnesses that want to be part of a collegiate program. She's great. She comes and watches all of our games. She has her own jersey. She has her own stick. We've got her all this equipment. It's really awesome to have. She gives us a lot of motivation, and she comes in the locker room and talks to us before games, and it's really cool to have her here and be part of our team. When I graduate, I definitely want to go to graduate school, most likely for either athletic training or physical therapy. Our trainers here have definitely given me an insight about what it takes to be an athletic trainer. They're always on top of everything. They always know how to help us and what to do and what not to do. They're always there for us when we need them, and that's given me a lot of help with what I could be doing after I graduate, so that's nice to have them.
20 more minutes of basketball here at the Clark Athletic Center gym on the campus of UMass Boston. Beacons a 14-point lead at halftime. Shot 48%, led by Kirsten Morrison's 11. Olivia Muprhy had 7 points, 9 rebounds as she passes the 1,000-point plateau. Suffolk, they struggled to shoot just 23%, and they turned the ball over 10 times. UMass Boston also turned it over 10 times, but the Beacons dominating in the paint, outscoring Suffolk 20-6 on points in the paint. Underway for half number 2. Suffolk trying to dig itself out of the hole. Alessandra Quadri too strong, going at the rack. She's had some good looks, but just hasn't been able to get some tough shots to fall as well. Here's Geary, deep 3 and hits. Geary's been really quiet in this game, hasn't had to do too much. Now just 5 points on her third attempted three-pointer of the game. Quadri lost it off her leg and has it taken away by Morrison. Down low, Morrison kicks it out. Nelson drives, finds Burston. Bounces for Muprhy. Great ball movement by UMass Boston, some of the best we've seen in this game, as Muprhy now has 9 points to go with her 9 rebounds. Fired across for Ileana Quadri. Muprhy tips it to herself and hands it off for Burston as UMass Boston looks to add to its lead that has just grown throughout this game. Geary's open and knocks it down. Couple of three-pointers to start this second half from the freshman Grace Geary, and now it's a 22-point lead. Another turnover as Alessandra Quadri was knocked down. No whistle as UMass Boston comes the other way. Nelson, the deep two, is short. She'll get her own rebound. Morrison back out. Geary again. And controlled underneath by Brio. Down floor. Negri. Not going to get it to go. Looked like it was going to drop there for a moment. Would have been a really pretty play. Ileana Quadri hits. And now Ileana Quadri surpasses 1,000 for her career. 2 players in this game have passed that mark. Ileana Quadri and earlier Olivia Muprhy for UMass Boston. As Geary draws the foul and will go to the line for one more. What a start for Grace Geary in this half. This is the free throw, but 8 points for her in the first 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Inside, Brio puts it in. So something there for Suffolk. Haven't seen too much in this game. Points on back-to-back possessions. It's the Suffolk team that scores all right, shoots 36% on the season. As jump ball will allow UMass Boston to retain possession. Suffolk shooting 36% on the season, and they're scoring 62 points per game. Now it was just announced that Ileana Quadri had surpassed 1,000 for her career. And the Suffolk fans making the trip just down the road. And give her a standing ovation as well. Nelson on the jumper. Muprhy the offensive rebound. Back out for Geary. And a new shot clock for the Beacons. UMass Boston now with 7 offensive rebounds in this game. Geary for 3. Grace Geary with 11 points to begin this second half. On fire here. Geary now up to 13 points. Negri trying to answer. Muprhy, and now controlled by Morrison. So a quiet first half for Grace Geary, who had just 2 points, 1 of 3 from the floor. In and off the floor a bit, and now she has caught fire as she has done so often this season. Muprhy, back out Burston. 7 to shoot. Geary lost the handle, now drives. Morrison, Burston, open for 3 off the top of the backboard. And a 24-second violation against UMass Boston. Second time in this game they've been whistled for that. Brittany Moore will come into the game. And she will replace Kirsten Morrison. 43-20. UMass Boston with the lead. They have opened this half on a 13-4 run. Just 4.5 minutes gone by in the second half. Santini kicks it out. Ileana Quadri drives, pulls up, fouled from behind, and will get to the free throw line. Muprhy picks up her first foul. Quadri, good on the first. A 73% foul shooter. Team's leading scorer, averages 12 a game. And after knocking that one down, we'll give her 8 points on the night. Press provided, and Muprhy has it knocked away. Santini. Now Ileana Quadri drives inside, count it, and the foul. Ileana Quadri having a great start to this second half. It's now 6 points for her in the first 5 minutes since halftime. Looking to add one more. Would make it an 18-point margin. Santini gets the offensive rebound, though. Finds a trailing Campolone. Gets her own rebound, and Moore ultimately controls it on the second attempt. So still a 19-point lead for UMass Boston. Burst in, out Nelson. Muprhy, blocked but fouled. So Muprhy will go to the free throw line where she will have an opportunity to give herself her 4th straight double-double. Already has 11 rebounds to go with her 9 points. And there it is, 4 straight double-doubles for Olivia Muprhy, and 11 now on the season. Muprhy short on the second, and Santini gets the rebound. Down low, Campolone. Given to Santini, fouled, but it's before the shot. Santini still without any points in this game, and she's coming off a 19.8 rebound game against St. Joseph of Connecticut on the weekend. Short off the glass, and the rebound to Moore. 44-24, UMass Boston with the lead. Never trailed in this game. 6 minutes into this second half. 10 to shoot for the Beacons. Geary will take it herself, and she's fouled. Beg your pardon, an offensive foul against Geary, as it looked like Alexandra Negri got in the lane. Matthew will check in for Geary, who picks up her 3rd. Beacons now with 4 team fouls. As Ileana Quadri to Santini. Puts it up. And the loose ball controlled by Mallory Nelson. Down low, Muprhy to Moore. Knocks it down. Nice rainbow jumper from Brittany Moore. Doesn't usually see a ton of action. The average is just about a bucket per game. And traveling against Chelsea Campolone.
Entering the game for the Rams, number 4, Katie Murray.
Katie Murray checks in for Suffolk for the first time tonight. Burston to Matthew. Here's Moore. 6 to shoot. Muprhy inside, blocked. Nelson comes crashing in and draws the foul. Nelson's made a lot of tough plays in this game. Just 2 points to show for it so far. 50% free throw shooter. Trying to add more. Alessandra Quadri returns to the game, as does Caitlin Caramello. And Chantel Jordan back in for UMass Boston. Well, she's waiting to replace Mallory Nelson, so she'll wait at the scores table. Nelson converts. She'll head off as UMass Boston is back up to a 24-point lead with 12 and a half to go. Rebounded by Matthew, lost it for a second as Caramello went up with a basketball. Here's Muprhy, off the glass and in. And timeout taken by Suffolk. It will be a full timeout. And we will take a break as UMass Boston has their largest lead of the game, 50-24, with 11:57 to go on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
(50-24), just under 12 minutes to go. And UMass Boston in control here. They've been getting it done inside early and often, 26-10. The Beacons have the advantage in the paint. Led by 13 points from Grace Geary, who had 11 points in the opening moments of the second half. Muprhy with 12 and Morrison with 11, the three UMass Boston players in double figures. Suffolk just trying to get something out of this game as Alessandra Quadri throws it up. Bounces around and controlled by Matthew, double teamed and traveled with it, so Suffolk will get the ball back. Matthew pinned underneath the basket there as the rest of the Beacons were heading down the floor looking to make a push. Jamie Ballou into the game along with Raven Kelsey as Courtney Mattingly has emptied the bench a little bit. So it's Ballou controlling now. Ballou appearing in her 12th game this season. Around the pick from Moore. And Moore trying to save it and unable to do so. Schiebel to Negri, fires across for Quadri. Deep three from Schiebel. Offensive rebound, Quadri can't get the putback to go. And Jordan able to save it. Suffolk looking for a traveling violation. as she hit the deck before she released the basketball. The Beacons will set up in the half court. Ballou to Matthew, who gets hit hard by Quadri. That'll be the 4th team foul against Suffolk. And the first against Quadri. With 10:35 to go in the second half. Ballou defended by Negri. Finds Kelsey, top of the arc. Inside, Kelsey draws the foul.
Rams foul number 24. Caitlin Carmel will be her first team fifth. At the line for the Beacons, number 34, Megan Kelsey.
Kelsey 5 of 11 at the free throw line, make it 6 of 12 on the season. Kelsey goes 1 for 2, able to track down the loose ball, but can't save it. Ball had some spin on it and bounced out of bounds in a hurry, as everyone got boxed out of the way, and then Kelsey was able to get there off the miss. Tried the bounce pass, did Quadri, and now a tie-up between Murray and Jordan. Suffolk will keep the basketball after the jump ball call. Inbound on the baseline with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Schiebel to inbound and finds Quadri. Quadri drives inside, wild shot won't go, and Moore tracks down the loose ball. And another jump ball, this time UMass Boston will take over. Ballou trying to break the press. And nice little 1-2 there with Matthew. Matthew whips it up to Ballou, and she'll get it across the timeline. Trying to find Jordan, and it was deflected by Caramello. And will allow UMass Boston to keep possession with 21 on the shot clock. Kelsey. And pass picked off by Quadri. Quadri going against Jordan, stops and gets it to go. Quadri with 10 points. Her and her sister Ileana, who's currently on the bench, have combined for 18 of the 26 Suffolk points. Moore short on the jumper. Three ball on the way is short from Negri. And the rebound to Matthew. Inside 9 minutes to go in the second half, 51-26. UMass Boston on top in their final non-conference game of the season. Got 5 Little East games left on the docket. Ballou's 3 no good, but more the offensive rebound. And jump ball will give Suffolk the basketball. Moore now with a few rebounds in this game. A few tough rebounds. A lot of long bounces off those 3-pointers that Moore's been able to track down. UMass Boston head coach Courtney Mattingly has all 5 starters on the bench. Inside. And Moore, another difficult rebound that she's able to pull in. Matthew to Jordan. And now Ballou will reset. Down low, and the pass tipped and controlled by Katie Murray. Ball batted. And Beacons force another turnover, but Ballou turns it right back. He's trying to palm it with one hand after receiving the pass. Now Quadri fires across to her sister, Ileana, and the rebound to Matthew. And this time Ballou secures it with two hands, gets it up for Moore. Moore will take the jumper and hits. Brittany Moore with 4 points. 7.5 to go. UMass Boston in control. Underneath, the foul drawn by Caitlin Caramello will put her at the free throw line.
UMass Boston foul 0-0 Brittany Moore. That will be her first team fifth. At the line for the Rams, number 24, Caitlin Caramello.
Caramello knocks down the first. 50% free throw shooter. And coming in to the game will be Cheyenne Wellington. Seen limited action this season as she replaces Raven Kelsey, but a good opportunity for the sophomore out of Springfield to come into this game and gets the rebound off the miss by Caramello. Still a 26-point lead as Jordan able to bat it forward to Matthew. Hounded by Quadri, and now UMass Boston will set up in the half court. Moore stepped on the baseline. And another young player for UMass Boston will come in, Marina Kelly, who's played just 43 minutes this season. Freshman from Whitman into the game for UMass Boston. Beacons in a 2-3 zone. Negri open for three, airballs it, and the Beacons take the ball right back. Kelly, and her pass was knocked away by Negri. Now the loose ball in the middle of the floor. It'll be a jump ball and give possession to UMass Boston, but 11 seconds have ticked off the clock, so that would be a 10-second violation against UMass Boston. So this should be Suffolk basketball as the referees talk here. They're going to give it to UMass Boston. And they're going to talk again after Ed Layden voices as well. Shot clock reads 19 seconds, so 11 seconds have come across, and Beacon's got that jump ball call, but you have to get the ball across half court in 10 seconds, so we'll see here. And looks like we'll stick with the call on the floor. Now referees tonight, Robert Simmons, James Coughlin, and Chris Bohack. And foul called against Negri. Nope, excuse me, offensive foul against Jamie Ballou. Six and a half to go. Negri underneath. Caramello puts it in. Freshman from Revere. And now a timeout called by UMass Boston as they were not prepared for the press after the made basket. And it will be a full timeout taken by the Beacons with 6:19 left to go in the second half and a 24-point lead as you're watching on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
.6:19 to go in the second half, and UMass Boston in control, up 53-29. Beacons have emptied the bench a bit and getting some of the more inexperienced players minutes on the floor. 5 Beacons as they try to break this press. They go for the home run pass. It's Ballou all the way, too strong. Off a great feed from Katie Matthew. Beacons have Matthew, Ballou, Wellington, Moore, and Kelly on the floor. Now here's Matthew forcing a turnover and can't get the layup to go, just rimmed out, with Ileana Quadri coming back on defense. Inside is Clark. And this ball will be inbounded from the baseline by Suffolk with 18 on the shot clock. Caramello, a little bump foul by Wellington. 16 foul. On the 1-and-1. Wellington controls the rebound. Off the miss by Caramello. And Caramello intercepts the pass, gets it forward to Quadri, who lays it in. Looking for a foul call as well, as she got hit on the hand by Ballou. And now a 30-second timeout taken by Courtney Mattingly, with 5:25 to go in the game. And the Beacons down by 22. She talks to this unit out there for the Beacons, coaching them towards the end of the game. Recap the game a bit here for you. It was a sloppy first half, each team with 10 turnovers heading into the halftime break. But UMass Boston still shot well, 48% in the first half. They had 11 from Kirsten Morrison at the break to put them at a 14-point lead at 30-16. Also in that first half, Olivia Muprhy scored her 1,000th career point. Murphy now with a double-double, 12 points, 11 rebounds. And Grace Geary had a hot start to the second half, 11 points right out of the gate in the first couple minutes of this second half. She's got 13, and that really helped the Beacons stretch this lead to what it's been. Wellington short, and the rebound by Ileana Quadri. Ileana inside, coast to coast, lays it in. Quadri now up to 12 points. Her and her sister Alessandra have 22 of Suffolk's 33 points, as Matthew is fouled, and this will put her at the free throw line. Excuse me, 16 foul against Suffolk. So one more foul needed to put the UMass Boston Beacons at the free throw line. Inside 5 minutes to go. Kelly down low. Wellington spins to the inside, goes around, can't get it to go off the glass. A nice move to put herself in position. In the other end, Murray back out. Schiebel kicks it out for Negri. And Murray able to tip it to herself and then draw the foul. Wellington gets the rebound again after the 1-and-1. Now the long pass up for Matthew. Fires across for Kelly. Now she'll take the jumper. And the rebound by Alessandra Quadri. Negri draws contact and will head to the line for one more.
UMass Boston foul number 3, Tajay Gregson. That will be her first team.
Negri now with 9 points. Clark returns to the game for Caramello. Burston doubled, but gets it up the floor to Matthew. 4 minutes to go in the ball game. This lead has dwindled down a bit, 53-36. Beacons with their reserves on the floor. Count it, and the foul. Katie Matthew from downtown. While taking contact from Alessandra Quadri, and a potential 4-point play for the freshman. And converts. Heck of a job by Katie Matthew, who now has 12 points after that 4-point play. Fourth Beacon in double figures, as Negri can't answer, and more of the rebound. So just like that, that lead is back up over 20 points now at 21, a 57-36 lead for the Beacons. Inside, Moore around to Murray, and the rebound to Schiebel. Schiebel in transition. Now Negri inside, little floater, and the offensive rebound by Murray. New shot clock for Suffolk. Alessandra Quadri inside Clark. That ball tipped off the backboard and fell right into the lap of Burston. Gives it up for Matthew, and an easy 2 points. Now 14 points for Matthew, as she now leads all scores. Deep three from Schiebel, and she knocks it down. What range from Kelsey Schiebel. She's Suffolk's top three-point shooter at 41% on the season. And that's her first bucket of the game. Wellington on the other end puts it in. Cheyenne Wellington had just 8 points on the season coming in and knocks down the nice jumper. Schiebel will take another deep three and knocks it down. Back-to-back trays for Schiebel. And now the timeout just for a substitution here to get Ileana Quadri back onto the floor for Alexandra Negri. Still a 61-42 lead for UMass Boston, as offense has stepped up a bit here in the last few minutes. Caramello back onto the floor for Alessandra Quadri for the final 2:12 of this game. Burston gets the ball across with just a second to spare. Now to Moore, right back Burston, wide open, short, and the rebound goes to Katie Murray. Over the back foul against Clark will put the Beacons at the free throw line on the other end. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Marina Kelly. Kelly with just 5 points coming into this game on the season. Good on the front end of the 1-and-1. Goes 2 for 2 at the line and back to a 21-point lead here in the final moments. Ileana Quadri back for Schiebel and throws it away. Clark not ready for the pass. Turnover number 17 against Suffolk. Beacon still have had 22 turnovers in this game. Wellington, the deep 2, nearly banked it home, and the rebound to Murray. Inside, Caramello. Offensive rebound, Clark can't get the putback, able to bat it to Schiebel. She'll take a long 2 and knock it down. Nice little finish to the game for Kelsey Schiebel. Now has 8 points. She's knocked down 3 consecutive shots. Final minute of play. Schiebel knocks it out of bounds. Trying to step in front of Matthew. 49.7 seconds left and a 19-point lead for the Beacons. Matthew up top, Kelly. 10 to shoot. Matthew, Wellington, drives inside, puts it up, blocked, and a 24-second violation. So coming up for UMass Boston, they'll be at Eastern Connecticut State on Saturday, 1 p.m. start time, then a couple of home games next week. Next Tuesday, 5:30 p.m., they'll host UMass Dartmouth, and then the following Saturday, Valentine's Day, they will host Plymouth State at 1 p.m., both those games here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Schiebel missing again, it goes out of bounds. Coming up for Suffolk, they'll be on the road for a little bit. They'll be at Albertus Magnus on Saturday and at Riviere University next Tuesday. A couple of GNAC games for them. As Burston dribbles out the final few seconds, and the horn sounds. 63-44, UMass Boston cruises to the victory in their final non-conference game of the season, as the Beacons have a little 2-game winning streak after they beat Rhode Island College just a few days ago. Beacons have 4 players in double figures, led by Katie Matthew off the bench. Had that great 4-point play towards the end of the game. She finished with 14 points and 6 rebounds. Olivia Muprhy, who scored her 1,000th point earlier tonight, she finishes with a double-double, her 4th straight and her 11th of the season. 12 points, 11 boards for her. Grace Geary had 11 of the first 13 points to start the second half for UMass Boston, and she finishes with 13. And Kirsten Morrison had 11 in the first half. She finishes with 11 points. Suffolk has Ileana Quadri with 12, Alessandra Quadri with 10, Alexandra Negri with 9, and Kelsey Schiebel with 8. Take a break here and see if we can get the head coach of the Beacons, Courtney Mattingly, to come up and get her thoughts on this game. We'll be back in just a moment on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity. There's a lot of people. Here there is a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Muprhy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
My name is Allie Greenberg. I'm an ice hockey player here. I'm a junior majoring in human services, and I'm part of the Key for Hope Foundation. We recycle the keys and stock food pantries with the money. I wanted to bring this foundation to the athletic department, and I believe we can end hunger starting at UMass Boston. I got started with the Key for Hope Foundation due to my father. He's the one who founded this program.
I said, what can I do with a classroom environment giving back? And everybody's got an old key, and keys are made of brass, and brass is a recyclable commodity. And thinking about how many children are in a school system and how far we can go with taking this to do something right for humanity, I started a foundation called Key for Hope, feeding others with the collecting of keys. In 2.5 years, we collected over 500,000 keys. And I'm excited about this whole opportunity because you know what? One key may not seem like much to most people, but when you collect the masses of keys that we've collected, it shows that there is an ability for people to get together and create what I'm considering our hunger fighting opportunity.
I'm Elizabeth Clavin, sophomore business management major from Edina, Minnesota. I love being a part of this volleyball team. Volleyball is what brought me to UMass Boston. I looked at our recruiting website one last time and saw UMass Boston on it, came out for a visit the next week, and it kind of hit all the boxes that I was looking for. In a good city, good academic school, good volleyball program, it had everything I wanted. Although it was far away from home, I knew this is where I wanted to be. Winning 6 back-to-back LEC titles is really a dynasty, I think, and Terry has really focused hard on recruiting and building this dynasty and continuing to build a program that can continue to win championships, and it's really lucky to be a part of something this great. Last year I was the Little East Conference Defensive Player of the Year, All-Conference second team, NCAA Regional MVP of the regional tournament.
And now joined post-game by the head coach of the Beacons, Courtney Mattingly, after the 63-44 win by your squad. Final non-conference game of the regular season before you go into that big final stretch of Little East Conference game. What do you hope to get out of these non-conference games?
You know, to focus on us. You know, you want to fine-tune, make sure you're playing the best basketball down the stretch in the last, 3 to 4 weeks, and just really focus on us and fine-tune the details, our execution, people really playing their roles, the details of the game, so that hopefully you can keep building and carry that onto, our next conference game.
Had 4 players in double figures. Really felt like, the lead the game was ever in jeopardy, but the 22 turnovers I'm sure you didn't like.
No, sorry. No, I didn't like that. But again, we're young. We have some young guards, and, every game for us, I tell them, is great experience and a learning experience. And I thought that, we made Grace and Tajay and Katie and Mal and Chantel, I thought they made some good adjustments from the first half to the second half. Tajay, I think, had 3 or 4 turnovers in the first half, and she ended up with, 5 for the game, so 2 in the second half, 1 or 2 in the second half. So I thought she made some better adjustments against their pressure.
Olivia Muprhy gets her 1,000th career point. What have you seen from her as she started her career and now as she's grown into the player she's become?
Just consistency. I don't know necessarily how she does it all the time. Sometimes I look at the stats and I'm like, holy cow, she had a double-double again. And she does it very, very quietly and very consistently every game. And that's her role, and that's what we depend on her for every night. And she's, knock on wood, for the most part, she produces and has been very consistent for us.
You got 5 Little East games left. You guys are sitting in the top 4. Love to have that home game.
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing you guys are working on, or what's the biggest thing for you guys to be able to get into that top 4 spot?
I think right now is we got to continue doing what we've done to put ourselves in this position and continue again working on the details, our execution, understanding and knowing the scouting report on other teams, the communications and our rotations defensively, and then everyone doing their role. And what they need to do for us. We need Keeks and Liv to demand the ball and finish. We need our guards to hit some open shots. We need our point guard to take care of the ball and execute our offense and get us the ball where we want to get it. I think just focusing on continuing to do what we've done all year. I always say, every day we just want to continue to get a little bit better, so that we're playing our best basketball in February. And I hope we have the oomph to push us forward over these last 5 games.
We're looking forward to appreciate your time, and best of luck rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back and just get you the final stats and get you out of here.
Beacons on the track! Beacons on the track!
My name is Tyler Hart.
Beacons on the track!
Being on the track and field team here is great decisions I've made besides coming to UMass Boston. When you train together in that sort of intensity, you build a bond with people who are training with you. It's like on a higher level of friendship. It's like teammates, it's just a different level. My freshman year, I got a Rookie Athlete of the Year. Outdoor, for my sophomore year, I was the first time I went to nationals. When I jump, it's a little difficult considering I have hereditary disorder known as amblyopia.
There we go.
It's pretty much just a partial blindness in the left eye. The best way to describe it is if you have decent prescriptions for contact lenses, you take one of the lenses out, and then you put your hand over the eye with that lens. That's my vision. I rely more on my steps as opposed to my visual perception of how far away the bar is. And since I can't see out of my left eye, I have to sit on the far left-hand side of the class. Hopefully coach for a few years and coach some high school kids, maybe even coach on a college level as like an assistant coach, and go to PA school, and then do a 5-year program and try.
Joined now by Olivia Muprhy, who scored her 1,000th career point. You also got your 4th straight double-double, 11th of the season. What did it feel like to get that 1,000th point tonight, though?
It felt really well. I mean, I worked really hard for it, so it was a good feeling.
Any nerves, or were you hoping to just get it away with as soon as possible?
I was a little nervous in the beginning of the game. I felt way better after I got it. Yeah.
Nice win for you guys. You're able to cruise, and now you got 5 straight Little East games to close the regular season. Where do you see the teams at? How do you think things are going? Certainly it seems like you guys have exceeded expectations to this point so far.
Yeah, I think we've been having a really great year. I think our guards have been excellent this year, and we're just working as a team, and it's working for us, and we're really excited for the LECs coming up and see where it goes.
Where's one place where you personally are trying to improve your game and get better?
Honestly, my outside shot and my free throws are really bad, so I have to work on those. But yeah, just working on them every day in practice, and we'll get better.
Well, congrats on the milestone, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
We'll be right back to close out shop and get you on the way here.
I'm Alexa Capion. I'm from Messina, New York. I'm a junior on the women's ice hockey team, and I'm an exercise health science major. But when I got here, I met Coach Harris, and I saw the facility, and I met a couple of the girls on the team, and I pretty much got a feel of the program, and I knew right away that this is where I wanted to go to school. We have all league games for the rest of the year, so that's going to be a huge test for us. We need those points to hopefully come out with a good standing for playoffs. A couple of highlights from the last couple of years I've been playing was probably last year when we won our first Codfish Bowl. We made history that year. I was really excited to be part of that. I don't have very many goals, but when I do score, it's definitely a big deal.
That's a goal. Back inside the Clark Gym. A big win for UMass Boston, 63-44 as we take a look at the final stats. UMass Boston, again, winning the rebounding battles. They used their size, also dominated inside and points in the paint. Still had those 22 turnovers, as their head coach Courtney Mattingly thought they got better as the game progressed with that, and shoot the ball pretty strongly as well. Take a look at the team leaders as UMass Boston finished with 4 players in double figures, led by Katie Matthew. And Olivia Muprhy, just heard from her. She had her 4th straight double-double and her 11th of the season. Looking ahead for this UMass Boston women's basketball team, they'll be on the road this weekend against EastCon, currently in 2nd place at 7-2 in the conference. Then they'll play UMass Dartmouth, the number 1 team in the conference, at 8-1 next Tuesday, and then they will host Plymouth State at the bottom of the conference next Saturday, Valentine's Day. The UMass Dartmouth and Plymouth State game, both here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. Big thanks to our production team tonight, able to come out despite the poor weather and poor transportation and bring this game to you. So for them, myself, Nick Cope, so long here from the Clark Gym.